and your partner in exploration. And it's just not about the headlines. It's about the conversations we have, the connections we make, and the impact we create. Your insights matter, your questions matter, and your energy matters. So whether you're in traffic, having breakfast, or starting your workday, I'll be right here, keeping you informed and engaged. So Lagos, stay tuned, set your alarms, and mark your calendars, and let's kickstart our mornings together, right here on the Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info and Kofi Bartels. Let's talk. On the Morning Crossfire with me, Kofi Bartels. You have the big names, the most pressing issues, and the sharpest conversations.
We must leave that place of talking into this place of doing.
Nothing are paying through their nose, and you are telling them after training they can't migrate. I will not be part of those who will give soft landing to these guys who are running the affairs of this country.
People are dying every day in an hour. People just go in and come out and read out stories to us. Come on, Kofi.
We must step beyond the talk. We have the analysis.
Join us as we dissect the headlines, bring you exclusive interviews, and dive deep into the heart of the matter. The big conversations live here.
Join Kofi Bartels on the Morning Crossfire, weekdays 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, welcome back. Still the Morning Crossfire, and of course it's still Open Mic Friday. You know how we do it every single Friday, but today we're having a bit of a cocktail. Let me call it that, a cocktail. I'm not sharing any drinks. I'm not giving anything, or should I call it mocktail? Because that's what I take, mocktail. Maybe. But we're mixing up, the open mic conversation, taking your thoughts. And also we have a guest in the studio who is doing something amazing. We think that we should talk about it. We should highlight it. We should promote it. And of course, we should inform you about it. We have with us on the Morning Crossfire today Bimbola Ojenike, who is a pretty interesting gentleman. He's dressed like a banker, but what he does, what he brought him to the studio is not banking, but you're a corporate guy. All right. But what brought us to the studio is far from what corporate guys do. Bimbola Ojenike is a co-founder of Destiny Trust, the Destiny Trust. He's also the managing partner of Slingstone LP. So Slingstone LP is a full-service law firm headquartered in Lagos. A full-service law firm means that you do everything from corporate law to, maritime law.
Absolutely.
Divorce, marriage. One of my favorite things to do is to listen to divorce lawyers. There's a guy on YouTube. He's a divorce lawyer. He talks about the things that he learns from divorce cases. I just watch. Anyway, but you're here not to talk about law. You're here to talk about your work at the Destiny Trust. I don't want to be the one to tell people what Destiny Trust is. I want you to tell us, what is the Destiny Trust? You're a lawyer. Destiny Trust. What's that?
All right. Good morning, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to be here. So the Destiny Trust is a non-profit. We started this essentially to address the problems of children in different categories. Primarily, we are focusing on street children and other categories of children who are considered to be housing insecure. So to make it very simple, you can imagine that child that you see in traffic every day. Those who come to wash your windshield, the one that sleeps under the bridge.
The ones that beg you for money.
The one that begs you for money. The one you see in the slums around Lagos, people who don't even have any definite place where they can call home every day. This is the category of people that we attend to. And the goal for us is to ensure that every child is educated. We are focusing on homelessness because we think that It's a major obstacle to development for children. You cannot talk about education for the children when they don't have anywhere they can call home. If you put that child in school, where will the child go back to after the school hours? What's the assurance of protection that the child has? So we started this just about the year 2012.
2012?
Yeah, 2012, yes. We are a group of lawyers.
Okay.
So at the time we started.
All right. So it's founded by lawyers.
Oh, yes. Essentially.
Amazing.
People working in a law firm. We just used to see all of these people
2012.
around.
That's 12 years ago.
About 12 years ago. Yeah. So just seeing all of these people around our workplace, washing the windshield, some of them even helping us to park. When you come back from court, they'll tell you, yeah, come back, yeah, stop. And that's a problem, really. Where does this young man go to sleep at night when the rest of us go, back home? We started tracing them back to where they sleep. We saw some of them on the beachfront of Kuramo back then. That is now a co-Atlantic city. And that's where many of them were sleeping.
Bar Beach, Kuramo. Yeah, that was later they chased them away and all that.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So you're a group of lawyers who sat down and say, hey, these guys who come to help us park, beg for money, where do they sleep at night?
Absolutely.
And you trace them to Kuramo,
Marwa, Boke Estate, and many other slums around Lagos, really.
This is quite interesting. Some feel this is a new phenomenon, but it's been there in Lagos. Street children. So the Destiny Project, the Destiny Trust, is a non-governmental organization.
It is.
That caters to street children.
Yes, and other disadvantaged children. So not only street, but that's like a primary category for us. So what we try to do with them essentially is to ensure they're educated and also empowered. So education for us is not just about literacy. It's not about go to school, learn how to read and write. The more strategic focus is to ensure that we use education itself as a means of tangible empowerment. So we want to raise every child that we meet on the street to become people like ourselves. We want to give them just what we have. We believe that it's not too late for them. They can start from just where they are, get a new opportunity to be a child again, and to lead a meaningful life altogether.
Okay, so you're not here to promote anything. You're not here to sell anything. You're not here to look for a sponsor. You're not here to we just have seen the work that the organization is doing, and it's something that needs to be talked about, that needs to be emulated.
Thank you.
So Destiny Trust is an NGO started by a group of lawyers. What you do, I want to speak it, put in simple language. You're a lawyer, You see, they used to tell me to read law, and
Why didn't you?
Because I look at the amount of books you guys have to read. I love to read,
Right.
but I looked at content and John Doe versus Roe, and I like things to be made simple, So you guys just go to the streets and you pick children and help them go to school. You help them, get a better life. Yeah, that's what you do.
Yes. So in three ways. The first thing is to cater to their well-being.
Okay.
So when you pick a child that has no home, you need to provide that home first.
Okay.
So you provide a home to them.
Okay.
A loving home for every child.
So you have an orphanage, or do you pair them with foster parents?
We have what we call residential learning centers. People would call that children home or orphanages in some cases. But for us, they are like shelters for children or residential learning centers.
Okay, so
we have like 4 of them, and we are adding one more.
In Lagos?
We have 2 in Lagos. We have 2 in Ibadan. The second one is coming up in Ibadan.
Okay.
And there is one in Igbora, also in Oyo State. So we have like 5. At the end of this December, there will be exactly 5. So these are places for children to live. It's set up in a family-like kind of situation. They don't have uniforms. They have their regular rooms like people have in their houses. The dining table, just a place for them to be and
to feel at home.
To feel like home.
Okay.
And it's what we have in all of these locations. So a recreational environment for them.
So that's the first way you intervene.
That's the first way we intervene.
Okay.
That's
Second.
like the care program.
Okay.
So the second one is education. Our education program is for the children that we take straight from the streets into all of these centers. And secondly, we look at the larger category of children who are out of school. So we go from Lagos.
Big problem.
Yeah, so we go from Lagos to Oyo State, to Borno, to Adamawa, to Taraba, to Osun, and other parts of the country. And the mission is, of course, the same everywhere. If there is a child that is not in school, that ought to be in school, we want to provide that essential support that the child needs to be in school and to get on the journey of education. We also understand that for some of the schools where we enroll children, the quality of education might not be exactly what we desire for the children. In all of those places, we then begin to provide support to the schools. In some places, we have to engage teachers to support what's on ground already. In some cases, we have to bring in technology to assist the children, like setting up a multimedia learning space for them, where whether or not you have a teacher in the classroom, there is still a way for them to access quality learning content, or for somebody to teach them remotely. So this is like an head tech project that we also do. We have so for this category of work, that's the mass school enrollment. We look at about 1,000 every year across the country.
I see they have tablets.
Yes, so we have tablets, we have smart TVs and smart boards, and some other multimedia devices that can aid learning in the classroom for the children.
Interesting. So that's the second way.
The second one. So the third one is the empowerment bit. So our empowerment program is in two categories. First is the empowerment for the child. And that's so important to us because for all the children that are with us, when they get to the age of 18, they become adults. It means that they have to be reintegrated into the society on or before the age of 18. So the question for us usually is, what will the person be doing when the person turns 18? So we start planning.
Once they're 18, they have to let go.
So we have to let go. And we indeed look for an opportunity to do that at the earliest opportunity, like maybe even 1 year, 2. But in most cases, it becomes harder because if you cannot find the family to reintegrate the child back into, or some kind of safe environment for the child, you then need to keep, planning and preparing the child for a final exit or reintegration at the age of 18. So that means you have to find something that child will be doing. So for us, technology is one of the ways that we empower the kids. We think that's more child appropriate. We cannot.
Technology how?
Yes. So we teach computer programming. We teach product design. We have a project that we call Kids Innovation.
They're able to learn these?
Yes. So we have what we call the Kids Innovation Project. So we are supporting them to learn vital skills in technology, in design, in arts. So if you come to our center, every center has a coding room. Every center has a place for learning music, has a place for learning how to design UI design, digital arts, and graphics, and all manners of things.
How do you fund?
How do we?
Fund. I mean, because it's lovely. I'm looking at your website. I've seen tablets on your Instagram page. I've gone everywhere.
So we're mostly supported by the public.
How many lawyers are you? How many?
So today we are no longer that small group of lawyers. Yes, we started as lawyers in a law firm, but now we have people across all professions, young professionals who are all willing to commit to this. So it's a community of not less than 130 young people doing what they can do to make society.
I mean, I looked at you. I was asking, okay, how old were you when you started? 2012 was quite some time. I think then
yes,
Jonathan was still president.
He was still president at the time. So we try to leverage the support of these community, their friends, their family members.
So self-funded, and then also with public donations.
Absolutely.
But you guys started with your own money.
We started with our money. We started with bank loans, even to be able to set up the first.
Why bank loans?
Because at the time, when you start, credibility becomes a question. People don't know you yet. So you have to be there. You have to demonstrate your impact before anyone can even trust you to support you.
All right.
So at the time, we were setting up our first home. We were supported by employers, and then we still needed to get some kind of bank loan to continue the work, to feed the children day to day, because the work is quite expansive. You are like everything to the children. You provide healthcare, you provide daily feeding, and with time, the number increases as well. And we have a school as well, like a school for overaged and children.
Okay,
those who are above the age of 10 who have never been to school before.
Okay.
And we understand that if they go to the regular schools, it's a problem for them. So you have to provide a school.
Why is it a problem if they go to regular schools? Because they've never been to school before.
So if you're 13 or 14 and you're starting in the kindergarten class, that's a problem.
Yeah. So you have three ways. First of all, you look at put them in your shelter.
Yes.
Secondly, you look at education. And thirdly, empowering them to, start a life, have something to do when they leave.
Exactly. So the one I haven't mentioned on empowerment and do business. So there are things like that we still do. Can we provide access to finance for the women to ensure that when the child comes back, that person doesn't go back on the street?
There's a lot, to be done in this field. I don't know if I allow you to go on and on because you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. But it's interesting listening to you say these things. I have a question. Why? How did you and how many lawyers were you when you started?
We're like six.
Six. Okay, so all of you, 6 in total. Why did the 6 of you decide to get into this kind of social work of taking children off the streets when you have a lot to do? I mean, when you take a case file, you have a lot to do as lawyers.
Well, I think the law itself is a force for common good. If you work as a lawyer, you can see every day that clear intersection between the society and the law. You see how every transaction you're working on is something that impacts.
You see, we lawyers and the media, we have something in common. That's why I'm not happy when they say we are the learned colleagues. We also learn. That was on the side.
Yeah, so you see in everything you're doing how that impacts the society. If you're working on a project, for example, and you're looking at a certain category of people that will be dislodged from wherever they are. As a right-thinking person, you should then begin to think, where will they go? You're not looking at just the figure, you're not looking at the contractual framework.
Right.
You're looking at the people, the impact on the environment as well.
But are you also a pastor? Because I'm getting that vibe from you.
I'm not a pastor.
maybe an imam. But it shows how passionate you are about what you're talking about. It shows how passionate you are. When someone begins to sound like you're preaching what they're talking, it shows passion. It does show passion. But so what did you notice in 2012? How did you even start?
Okay.
Because you just go to the street to say, hey, we're going to pick you, come. How I've been talking to street children right from my time in Port Harcourt.
Wow.
Yes, and I've noticed a lot of things. Use it for my programs. So how did you start? And what did you notice that you think the society, the public needs to hear from this work?
Okay, two stories stand out for me. The first was actually when I was a student in the University of Ibadan. That was my very first interaction with a street child. I was going to browse off campus. Back then, we used to go to cyber cafes to access the internet. So I was going off campus and I saw a child, a street girl, was leading the mother around for begging. The mother was blind. And we were fighting about the time other children were coming back from school. She was crying. She had thrown away the walking stick, telling the mother, if you don't take me to school, I'm not going to follow you again. Other children are coming back from school. You promised me we're going to go to school every day. We just keep begging. Nothing is changing. And she wasn't willing to follow the mother. People were there begging, follow your mother. She will take you to school. The following day, people contributing money and all of that. I didn't give my own money because, of course, I knew it couldn't solve any problem. But I started thinking about it. And I told myself, in the future, when I make money, I'll do something about that. But that's a deception, really. Because that time that you make enough money to go and make any social impact, it's like... you need to get to that later stage of life. And I started working as a lawyer. Yes, the idea was still somewhere not in the subconscious, I would say in my mind, but I didn't do anything about it. The first thing was to build a career, and then I was seeing these people in Lagos again everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
And then something happened one day. We were coming back from court, and a certain girl that used to help us with parking somewhere on Adiyamala Street, in VI here, where my office was located at the time. So the girl just started insulting me and said, poor lawyer, see your own jege car. The bankers are richer than you. It's the kind of street where you see all the banks.
How old was she?
She was like around
we'll be right
11.
Back.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
You won't get drink to boost your health. Now Wellman drink. Wellman drink.
Are you ready to feel alive and strong? Look no further, because Wellman drink from Vitabiotics UK has got you covered. Packed with vitamins and minerals, it is a healthy choice you won't regret. Make a healthy choice today with a very low-calorie drink that is free from caffeine, preservatives, and artificial color. Wellman drink, the ultimate choice for men. Available in leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Big things, Nemo like
Pepsi 60cl long throat bottle is back. It's big refreshment, big value, big flex, big tins. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
Big things, Nemo like
Pepsi 60cl long throat bottle is back. It's big refreshment, big value, big flex, big tins. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
As the year closes, Power Oil thanks you, our resilient community. Through challenges, you've shown strength, creating moments that matter. Together, we've walked for healthy hearts, celebrated life, and cooked meals filled with care. Your resilience inspires us to keep supporting your health and well-being. This season, let's continue to make meals that matter, cherishing love and hope into the new year. Merry Christmas and a powerful new year from Power Oil.
Power Oil, hey, Power Oil.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
5 Alive Poppy. So much pop. So many ways to pop it. He gulps it. She chews it. He slurps it. Filled with pop in every gulp. Everyone pops it their way. So, how do you pop it?
Hey, Chidi, have you ever thought about investing your money to grow it faster?
Investing? Nah, it sounds too complicated.
It can be, but not with ARM1.
What's ARM1?
ARM1 is the investment app that simplifies investing. It makes investing like a pro easy.
Sounds interesting, but how does it work?
All you have to do is download the ARM1 app, set up your account, and start investing with as little as 1,000 Naira. ARM1 does all the hard work for you.
Wow, that sounds easy. But what if I'm not an expert investor?
That's the beauty of ARM1. It's designed for experts and beginners with simple and clear investment options. So you don't have to be a financial expert to start investing.
Oh wow, I think I'm ready to give it a try.
ARM1, the investment app that makes investing like a pro easy. Download ARM1 today on the iOS or App Store and start investing with confidence. ARM, invested in your tomorrow.
Hello, excuse me. This Milo pack looks different. I'm seeing support energy release, BAM, on the pack. Is it the same Milo? No, this one is new and improved. The support energy release means when you give your kids Milo as part of breakfast, you are giving them energy they need to go to school. I like this one.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Yeah. Jiggy. Big things, Nemo like. I'm okay, Pepsi for my hand. You should already know that we live in La Vida. All eyes on me, cause I carry my Pepsi. Carry my Pepsi. They say, why you doing like this? You know I would do anything for the feeling. No matter, don't do me anymore. Big things, no more like Pepsi, where they give me more energy. Big things, no more like. Big things, no more like. I'm okay, oh, Pepsi, they for my hand. You sure already know that we live in la vida. All eyes on me, cause I carry my Pepsi. Carry my Pepsi. They say, why you doing like this? You know I would do anything for the feeling. No matter, don't do me anymore. Big things, no more like Pepsi, where they give me more energy. Big things, no more like.
Pepsi 60cl long throat bottle is back. It's big refreshment, big value, big flex, big tins. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It is Open Mic Friday, but we're also talking about street children in the country, especially in Lagos, where a non-governmental organization known as the Destiny Trust, has been taking children off the streets to try to turn their lives around for the better. And the co-founder of the Destiny Trust is with us in the studio. He's a lawyer and social entrepreneur, Abimbola Ojenike. He joins us right here in the studio. Since 2012, they've been doing what they can to, take children off the streets in Lagos and other parts of the country. Before we went on the break, Abimbola, you were telling us about, some of your early experiences. And when you moved to Lagos State as a lawyer in a law firm on VI, there was a girl who used to help you park. Yeah, please continue with your story.
Yes, so this girl was a really well-behaved young girl. Of course, we knew that she had needs, but she wasn't a threat to anyone at all. So one day, I was coming back from court. I was parking, and just usually...
How old was she?
At that time, she was around 10, 11. About the time we started seeing her there. So at this time, she was already like around 13 or maybe going to 14. And as I was parking, yes, I parked, just usually handed her money, and then she started insulting. See, small money, that's all you can give. Your mates,
poor lawyer.
Yeah, poor lawyer. Your mates, bankers, they give better money. See your jege car. See that one has Mercedes, and you, it's in the sun that you're driving up and down. And I knew something had changed about that child. She was developing animosity for the environment, for everyone around, for the society that has failed to help her. I go back to the office and I shared that experience with colleagues. And everybody was telling the same kind of story that, that girl, she has really changed. Or maybe she's taking Igbo now. Maybe she's now moving with the bad people.
So how old was she at this point when you noticed this?
So that was around 13, 14.
Oh, my God.
Yes. And we're just talking about that. Like, if this girl is changing, it means that many others in similar situation around the community, things are changing about them. It tells you that kids won't always be kids. They will become adults. If the society gives nothing to them while they are children, they would have nothing when they grow up. They become a problem to everyone. So we then realize that it's really an enlightened self-interest for every one of us to pay attention to all of those children. They are indeed our future. It's not even what non-profits say, children are our future. They are.
So what happened to her?
So we came together and we said, okay, let's go and find out where these kids go to sleep at night. Let's start interacting with them to know more about the problem.
On the spot?
Yes.
Wow.
So we decided to, let's come up with a plan. Let's understand the problem more. So we started going to Kuramo in the evening. We would spend time with them. We'd go there on Saturday.
As before it became Eco Atlantic?
Yes. We would do like a soup kitchen with them, sit down, eat with them, play around the beach.
Some people don't do what you're doing because they're afraid.
Well, indeed, it's scary. You would go there late in the evening, 11:30, because for some kids, you need to wait for that time to know where exactly they sleep. For some of them, they will tell you that there is a family member that comes to see them at night, or that you can see the person. If you come late in the evening, you have to go there. Wait. You go into the same environment where people do drugs.
Do they stay with their families? These ones that you
So
traced?
They were not staying with their family. But in some cases, you would find like a mother, mostly a single mother or a widow, who comes to check them.
That's these 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds.
Yes, even some younger.
They sleep alone around that crowd.
They sleep alone, just use just have loads of rags that they wrap themselves in. And just there on the beachfront, you would see many people. Some would dig into the white sand just to make it warmer a bit, go into the hole, and that was like a shelter for them.
9, as young as how old? 9, maybe?
So as young as 8,
9,
back then. Some, if you see a person around 7, the mother will be somewhere.
Okay, close by.
Yeah, close by, somewhere close by.
But those who are on their own could be maybe 8, 9.
And 8, 9, 10 to 17. Different categories of people. You see people who are older as well. And you would also then find that some families have up to like 2 generations on the streets. More than 2 generations, actually. That's something we found out. Wow. So it means that their mother was raised on the street, and got impregnated by someone on the street. That person too was on the street. The child is living on the street. The mother's mother, the grandmother in this case, was on the street as well. We have seen up to like more than 2 generations of a certain family living on the street.
So these kids who you traced in back in 2012,
yes,
to Koramo, yes, who maybe they were living alone,
yes,
with their gang, have people, other kids to move with.
Yes.
Were their families traceable?
Yes, everyone. Nobody dropped from heaven. Okay. So everyone is traceable. So for some people, we trace them back to Ondo State, some back to Oyo State, and many people within Lagos also. Some Akwa Ibom.
So what did you find? What did you find was the factor and the reason that took them away from their families to stay by the beach?
Things. Yeah. First is the economic condition. When the economic condition of the family is so bad that the family cannot take care of its members, children find their ways to the streets.
But if no matter how bad an economic condition is, I don't want my child. I'm sure you would, no matter how bad it is.
Yes, so it's not that parents just tell their kids, hey, go on the streets, I cannot take care of you. That's not how it happens. So somebody is hungry, keeps looking around, trying to hustle. Then you find a friend, I'll tell you, let's go to somewhere in VI. They're always doing parties there. We can go there and beg for money. You go there, you find free food. Yeah, maybe somebody gives you money. Then you then feel that this is a good environment. Why should I go back home? There's nothing for me at home anyway. And if I use this money for transport back home, how will I get back to this same spot tomorrow? So you then want to find a place around to sleep that day.
Parents are not looking for you.
Yes. You do that 1 day, 2 days. You find other children. It then looks like, oh, it's okay. You find other adults who are living on the street as well. Parents will look for the child for 2 or 3 days. Maybe the child will go back after a week. They'll beat that child. Well, where did he go? Where did he go? Don't go out again. That child will go back again. And this time, will not even come back anytime soon, because anytime I go back, they beat me. And this world it's a more caring world. I mean, I get food and
get money,
basic needs. Yes,
because some of them make a lot of money. I see them at some of the supermarkets.
Absolutely,
in Lekki and Kate. They go buy stuff and they pack things.
Indeed. So when they get on the street, so money is not the problem for them anymore. I mean, people get to give them money.
They can
money. Yes, money then becomes a problem because it means they won't be interested in going to school anymore. Yes. So why would that person go
That's
back
the
to...
one issues you're facing, right?
Yes. So you then have to persuade the person, I'll take you to school, I'll give you all these basic things that you need. Then somebody will tell you, come back next week. Let me think about it. Because you can't compel the child as well. You want them to be interested. You want them to be like active partners in your work of changing them. So it starts from the beginning. You win their trust, and then you tell them the future can be better. But this is the way.
There are some who do not want to go to school because they're getting, maybe in a day, maybe 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira.
There are not many. There are not many.
Okay,
and for those ones as well, you just need to wait for the time that things get tougher for them.
They'll come.
When Nigeria was having the cash problem and there was no money to give anybody on the streets.
even now, still people are.
Yeah. So when things are really tough, then you see many of them, and on certain occasions, some of them even walked into our home to knock and say, please, I heard here they take care of children, please help me. I've been sleeping on the streets and somebody just gave me the address of this place. So we have cases like that as well.
I at some portion of my life, I was sent back, to the rural area to go and also see another side of life. By my family, and it helped me, made me a bit resilient, so I've been on the street, I've walked around, I know what it means to leave the home and follow your group of friends to go and catch something, very far, and they won't see you till very late at night. And I know how easy it is to linger and maybe to even stay straight away and not come back. And then they look for you for 2-3 days.
And when there's nothing to go back home to meet,
it's so easy. It's very easy. Like you said it, one thing leads to the other, and you might just stay.
And in some cases, you then see parents who are separated. So somebody has gone on to marry another person. It becomes a problem because the child then doesn't know who to go and meet. The mother doesn't want the child, because the new husband doesn't want to see the child. We had a case of a person that put the child's leg in fire. That's the new husband saying, if you ever come back to this place again, I'll cut that leg. This one is just a warning to you.
There are a lot of issues in our society.
Absolutely.
So the new husband chased the child away.
Yes. And somebody will tell you, the boy is looking like the former guy. I don't want to see anyone or anything that looks like that guy around me. Or are you still interested in going back to him? It becomes a big problem, really. So family separation is one. The poor family condition in terms of the economy.
Parental neglect.
One. Yeah, parental neglect. And then you have abuse. So especially for girls, so when girls are being abused within the family, then family is no longer family for them. Then there will always be a need for a different environment where they can reconstruct their childhood, recover from trauma, and then start life all over again. And that's where government comes in many times, rescuing children from those conditions. We do that as well when we become aware of that condition.
This government aspect, and I want to take us, but what you're saying is so interesting, and I'm finding it hard to detach. Because you're dragging me in with the stories. But this aspect of government is very important. I remember back in the day in River State, we did a story. We went to the, government, the orphanage. We didn't go to a remand home anyway, where they keep the ones that commit crimes. And what can the government do? Because other parts of the world, if you're a parent and you neglect to take care of your children, remember what happened in the UK. What do they call it again? One of the families from this tribe, this group of people who like to stay outside and in caravans, who migrated to the UK. They went to take their kids because they felt that their lives were endangered, and so the social workers will come and take your children away from you if you can't take care of them. But here, we don't have it. Do we have it? Do we have that?
We certainly do, especially in Lagos State.
Are you talking about Ministry of Social Welfare?
The Ministry of Youth and Social Development in Lagos State.
You're trying to be politically correct, though.
And not really. Things can be much better, as a matter of fact. But for Lagos, you have to give some credit to the Ministry of Youth and Social Development in Lagos. That's one place where you have more active and collaboration with the government. There is in terms of monitoring as well, in terms of the licensing process for.
So if the Ministry of Youth and Youth and what?
Youth and Social Development.
Because in other states it's social welfare ministry.
Yeah, social welfare.
So if they're doing the work really well, I mean, it's like me telling you that.
So the point I was making is not government is doing it all.
I'm coming. You know, you're a lawyer, so you know where I'm going to.
Yes.
If I like you now, I'm a pastor.
Yes.
Okay. And I tell you, I don't have, congregation. I don't have people to minister to. You have to beat me up. You have to knock me because there are people all over. Like Jesus said, the harvest is plenty, laborers are few. So if the government of Lagos State, and I won't dispute the fact that they may be doing well, because Lagos State government, they have their A game on compared to a lot of other states in Nigeria. Truthfully.
Yeah.
But so all the children from the beginning of Ozumba, by the way, let's just start from there, by Bonny Camp down to Ekpe, who are on the road every single day. Those guys are just there to be taken care of.
Yeah, so
and they are there.
This is the way it is. It's an expansive problem. And indeed, the starting point really is to have the right regulation in place. And I think we have that for Lagos State. You have the child rights law, and then you have the alternative child care policy as well. I'm getting somewhere with that.
All these things.
I'm getting somewhere with that.
Even the government in some states where you have the Child Rights Act, they even, you see them even doing things that they consider.
But that's really important for many reasons. It's the only reason organizations like the Destiny Trust can exist. Because you need to be sure that systems or structures that are coming up to take care of children can actually do that. There must be a way of licensing them. So you don't take a child from the streets and then put them in problem in another place. There must be a system of monitoring, and that's something that Lagos State does well. Your monthly report we get to them. You put the kids before the family court every 3 months at the latest. The family court judge will look at them. We'll interact with them one-on-one.
Why is the state, I'm not about Lagos State now, state as in government, why is the state not taking custody of these children off the street every single day? So there should be people on the roads every single day, either uniformed people or people who are not in uniform.
I'm getting there.
Social police.
Yes.
If I see a child of school age on the street, we'll take that child away.
So what we need today is stronger execution, stronger enforcement of those laws. There are many things that non-profits cannot do just alone. For you to rescue any child, you have to first write to the government, get the permission to go and rescue that child.
How long does that take?
Usually it takes longer than what we...
How long does it take?
So in some cases, you might be lucky if it's such an emergency and you're pressing.
No. Give me the average. The average.
The average could be like a month.
Okay. So what I'm talking about?
And that's a problem for us on many occasions. So these are things
but they have the checks and balances there.
But you have that there. But then you then realize that, okay, we need to check, we need to be sure. And then at times they need you to provide more information about the child. Is the person really at risk? Is the situation the same?
You have an
because
assessment?
the government does not want you to institutionalize children. We can, and that's not even the right thing to do, really.
Why?
We agree with them on that.
Why?
You cannot take all the children and put them in homes and centers like the one the Destiny Trust runs. There must be a balance. Because the family is still the very best place for children to be raised. So when we go to the government to say we want to rescue a child, the first consideration is there a family somewhere? Is there a family member?
So you did some sort of risk assessment?
Absolutely. And that's something that is more of an interactive engagement with the government, writing back and forth, explaining to someone.
They can say no. This one,
the government can say no.
Has a family. You can put them in a center.
Absolutely.
In a shelter.
Which is not out of place, really, because by the time you put that person in shelter, you're then looking for where to reintegrate the person to, and it becomes a problem. So we understand what they're thinking on the other side.
Which is
we
good.
Understand the expediency on our side as well. But you can't just act based on the spur of the moment. Oh, let's take that child.
You have to go through
You
government.
must think through everything and work with the government as well, and think about the reintegration plan for the child right from the beginning. So what government can do better for us really is for there to be that stronger execution, like the kind of thing you described. There is a law that criminalizes people taking their children on the streets to go and beg.
Really?
Economic exploitation.
Where? Law where?
Oh, in Nigeria.
Okay.
It shouldn't be normal for you to take your child and then go to Freedom Way.
You see why
to go and beg for money.
To hustle.
That's already to go and hustle. That's already unlawful.
You see why when you talk about child's right, like I said,
yes,
I stopped.
But I cannot go and arrest a person and say, oh, you're using your child for begging. At the same time, that person will never agree with me to rescue the child because they're using the child.
You face that?
Oh, we see that all the time.
Give me a story. Maybe one.
So, especially on Freedom Way, Ikate, that place is one of the saddest, places to pass through in Lagos State for me. You see children who are running after, cars. You see mothers who are sitting somewhere under a shade and then waiting for kids to
sometimes
come back
you see them
and
counting the money.
Yes,
in their wrapper.
Yes, absolutely. And then
when
you go to these people to say, oh, your child is not in school. Indeed, they have a name for me. They call me Makaranta there.
Oh, Makaranta.
Yeah,
Makaranta is Hausa for school.
Yeah, so like, they go Makaranta. So over time, some of them started calling me. So when they see me in the car, they say, oh, Makaranta. Like, they'll just move away. This one will not give you money. He will only talk to you about Makaranta and how to leave this place. And that's a problem. So they are no longer interested because they are making money out of that. Some of those children also do not belong to the parents that you see there.
Really?
People bring children from the north who are not their own children.
Really?
To come and beg in Lagos State. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Whose children are those?
Yes.
How did they get them?
So somebody will sit somewhere in Kano or Sokoto because there is poverty. You then give out a child to somebody going to Lagos.
Take him?
Yes, take him. So you make money and then you remit money to someone at home. So that's a problem, lady. For some of them also, they may not be aware of what they're using their children for. It could be, okay, I'm going to Lagos. Lagos is a better place, quote and unquote.
Yeah, everyone thinks Lagos is heaven.
That's the sense
trust
of
me, I was outside there. Everyone thinks Lagos is heaven.
So it's just like, okay, take my child to Lagos. It's like, okay, I'll take care of your child. Those parents also may not even be aware of what they're doing with their children here. But one thing is clear, whether with their knowledge or not, or consent or not, some people are using people's children for begging in Lagos
as props.
Yes, absolutely. And those kids are not their own kids.
Let's take some calls. I wish I had the whole day. So you have to come back. You have to come back.
I'll be glad to.
Oh my God, this is an issue. It's a serious issue. I will blame the authorities. Me, that's my own. I know you. For me, I put the blame squarely at the feet of authorities. No particular authority. Generally, from north, south, east, and west. 99.3. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Good morning to your guest.
Welcome. We have limited time, so please shoot.
I know. I just want to commend the beautiful and amazing job your guest and his crew are doing. But I just want to ask, how do you prosecute cases of, mishandlement, like the parents who are not willing to take care of their children and other things? And how do you follow up to ensure that these kids don't go back to the slum? Because for every child you bring out, there are more juvenile delinquents pervading our society. And I really blame the government, like Mr. Kofi said. I put it on the government. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Obori. Thank you so much.
Yes, so we are not able to prosecute. The government can prosecute, actually. And for the children that we take off the streets, yes, we monitor them. We take care of them all the way to the university. We have up to like 20 children in the university across Nigeria, from UNILAG to University of Ibadan, Kwara State University, Lautech, Lead City University, Landmark University. So we have kids across. So we don't just leave our children. We have kids who are software developers today and doing so well and helping in our programs as well. Some of them are even teaching at our Kids Innovation Hub. They are developing software for our project. Our EdTech project is designed by them. They are the ones writing the codes and developing the software that we use for helping hundreds of thousands of other children.
Amazing. Okay, we have another listener. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kofi.
Very quickly, straight.
Yes, this is it. I used to see some people, very old, mostly when you are going along the street, like where there is hold up, always hold up in the street. You will see them, they will be there from morning till the night, every day. The same face you see today is the same face you are going to see tomorrow. And they are very aged, and they are still on that junction. What is the plan of government for those people?
All right.
Because I know those are the people are talking about.
That's the question to address to the government, which of course I guess is not here to talk for government. And looking at children, basically, yes. We have to go. You come back. You come back. Maybe the next time, I don't know if it's against your policy, one of the children can come talk.
Oh, yes, we can get an 18-plus person.
Yes, 18-plus, okay. But what I would like to do is to come to your center, the one close to us, yes. And then maybe on one of the days you're going for interventions, follow you, out to the streets. Because see, we must not normalize abnormality. We must continue to normalize abnormality. And it is not normal to have hundreds or thousands of people on one road. This from Ozumba to Lekki Ekpe. Let's just start, begging and out of school. And we have to go. I want to thank you for your time. How can you be reached?
Pleasure.
your foundation for those who want to
support?
Thank
you. So our website is www.destinytrust.org. Basically,
Destiny Trust.
Yes.
.org.
Yes.
All the details are there.
Yes, everything is there.
All right.
And on the social media as well, it's at the Destiny Trust on Twitter.
The Destiny Trust.
At the Destiny Trust.
Abimbola Ojenike, lawyer and co-founder of the Destiny Trust. You come back.
Yes.
Again on this program. All right.
Yeah.
Get drink to boost your health. Now, Wellman drink.
Are you ready to feel alive?
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's